This is Max Doomit. I'm doing my video for the coding midterm. So we got a few problems from there. First one was pretty simple. Just wants you to evaluate two quadratic expressions, so add them together basically. So you just, this was given, I'm pretty sure. You get a, b, c, and x, and then a, b, and c are the coefficients. And then x is just going to be whatever your variable is, and it's going to be, since it's a quadratic, ax squared times plus bx plus c. And then 2 quadratics is the part you had to do, so I just plugged in eval quadratic with the first variables for inputs, and then same thing, I added them together, and then you just do 2 quadratics and then throw in all the variables you want. I just did a bunch of ones and stuff just to make it simpler, and they're both going to be equal to 7. If I change this to 2, it should just add 1 to that, give you 15. So that is the first one. Second one was putting it'll give you a list like this, and you want to reverse the list, the outer list, so that this comes first and this is last, and then also reverse the inner things in the list. So it'll be 2 1, this will be 4 3, and this will be 7 6 5, and then this one will come first, this will be second, this will be third. So I basically just made a loop that would do that, that would reverse the actual lists. Then I made a second loop that would reverse the things inside the list. So this first part right here just sets, it's for the actual for loop. So it can go from 0 to this, which is just half of the length rounded up. So like if we, since this one's 3, half of it's 1.5, it'll go rounded up to 2, so the loop will go over twice. And if it's 4, it'll also go over twice. But it works the same. It's just with odd and even numbers, you have to have a different kind of thing going on. So they'll both be 2 if it's 3 and 4. 5 and 6 are going to be 3, so on. So that just handles that little bit of math. And then in the loop, we have a temp that, or a temporary variable that takes in the list for whatever iteration we're on. So we start at 0, it's going to take this list and it's going to store it as a temporary variable, and then you're going to set that equal to negative I minus 1, which is just going to be this one. So basically you're getting a temporary variable, setting this equal to the temporary variable, and then you're taking this one or whatever's at the end and swapping it to here, and then it's basically just going to do the same thing, but it's going to set this one right here equal to that. So these two are going to get swapped, and then it's going to iterate again, and it'll be the last iteration for this specific one, since it's only 3 long and only has 2 iterations. And this one doesn't actually like functionally do anything, but it's basically just swapping this one for this one. If it was a 4 length one, it would swap this one for the third one, but since it's 3 long, it just swaps it to where it is. So maybe you could somehow cut that off by using an if statement, and if it was odd, then you could do it differently, but this is pretty concise and it works every time. And then for the actual reversal of the things inside, we have a pretty similar thing going on here, except we have a nested loop. This loop is going to go through the entirety of this, so it's going to be 3 iterations on that. And then this part right here is pretty much the exact same as this, except instead of doing it on how many lists there are within the actual list, it's going to do it on how many things are within each list, depending on which iteration we're on. So on the first iteration, it'll be checking on this one, and then this one, and then this one. But it has the same math as this one does. And then on the inner loop, it's basically the exact same as this. So looking back, I probably could have made a different function, and it uses some that I could just plug variables into, but this works pretty much the same as this. It just goes on the inside of the loop instead of the inside of this loop right here. So anyways, at the end you can see 7 6 5 is the reverse of that. 4, 3 is the reverse of that, and 2, 1 is the reverse of that. So, on a problem 5, this one is handling dictionaries, and it has 3 examples. It basically wants you to take the, I forget what you call this, the element, I think. So you want to swap the key in the element, basically. Not like that. Swap the key in the element for all of these, so it's going to make it, the key's going to be 10, the element's 1, so on. And in a case like this, where you have, where it's going to swap these, so you're going to have a key of 30 that's going to correspond to 4 and 3. You want them to be in a list with the key 30. So let me just go ahead and do this. I'll just do it like this. So as you see on the first one, just go ahead and swap the 10 and the 1, 2 and the 20, and the 30 and the 3. On this one, we swap the 2 and the 10, or the 1 and the 10, the 2 and the 20, and then for 30, we make that the map. I already forgot the word. But we swap the 30 here, and then we go ahead and make a list and put 3 and 4 in it. And then for the last one, we have all of the keys set to a boolean of true. So true is going to now be the only key, and all of these 4, 2, and 0 are going to end up being in a list with the key of true. So that would be problem 5. I had some issues with that one, but I got it worked out in the end. This one's kind of cool. I'm not sure how many people used map, but basically we have some tuples, and we want to go through every integer within the lists and tuples and whatever else it is, and find all of the integers, and then find the largest integer and return that. So it uses some my words are like losing my mind. I've been programming for 6 hours. What is the word? It uses recursion here, and we're using the max function in Python, which is just going to find the largest integer of it, and then map is basically going to go through the thing, whether it's a list or a tuple or whatever else, and it's going to find all the integers in it. And so we use a little bit of recursion here to actually so here it's just going to pull out the 5, return the 5 into the map, and then when it gets to this list of 1, 2, or tuple or whatever it is, it's not going to be able to just do that. So it goes in recursively again, and then it can grab the 1 and 2 out of it and then return those into the map, and then so on with the rest of everything until it gets all the integers out in one big line, metaphorically, and finds the biggest one and then pulls it out. So that is how that works. And you can see 5 and 9 are the largest integer in their respective example. And then for the last one here, this was kind of weird to me, at least. We've got this function f right here that has s, and it's going to return true if a is an s. So basically we have this list a, b, and c, and we want to pull the a out and return false if there's a, I mean. So basically this right here is just going to be for s and l. If the function f is true or false, whatever, if it's true, we're going to remove s, and then we're going to return false. So we want to return false, and this is just going to like basically make sure we do. So if it's going to return false, it's just going to do it. But this will make sure we return false. And as you can see down here, we print false, and also the new and improved L list without a in it. So that is all of the problems, and that should be it. Thank you.